Well, this indeed is the era of collaboration. This indeed is the era of taking the ideas forward together. And that being said, we will now quickly take your focus towards our next session coming your way. This is where we will get to hear from our next speaker, who will focus all the important, pertinent points around navigating the future, especially when we're talking about embedded finance and trade automation in supply chains. Now, he's someone who leads global growth efforts and also drives automation in supply chain finances. And he's none other than Sreejith Nair, who's the Director of Growth Strategy, Veefin Solutions. So if I may please invite our next speaker, Sreejith Nair. And ladies and gentlemen, if you're all also very keen to navigate the future the right way, can we have a round of applause? Let's keep that energy going. Let's keep that enthusiasm going, because there's a lot of takeaways from us from each and every session. With that, Sreejith, over to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm audible. So first of all, let me thank you all for making it here on a rainy day like this. Right? It was unexpected today. And also the panelists today, thank you for sharing all the insights on how to make transportation, logistics, supply chain management more efficient. Although, quick introduction, I'm Sreejith Nair, by the way. I head growth for Veefin since the last 4 years. So one thing that I would like to address here, which has been kind of missed out, or it's not often addressed in events like this, is the cost of credit in supply chain, right? Now, why cost of credit? Let me give you some numbers. 530 billion USD is the SME financing gap here in India. Now, what are these? These are companies in your supply chain, your inbound and outbound supply chain. So this is the financing gap there, right? While we talk about the efficiencies in transportation, logistics, and all of that, which is very important, it is also important to address the financing gap in your supply chain. Imagine how it could impact not only the efficiency of your supply chain, but also, it would put a smile on your CFO's face, right? So in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to try and address as much as I can, although 10 minutes is not sufficient, but let me cover as much as possible, and we can have a discussion as well in detail. First, about Veefin, we are a 5-year-old company. We got listed in BSE last year. To put it in a nutshell, we are a technology enabler for digitization of supply chain finance, right? For most part of our tenure, we've been bank facing, so we build solution for banks. These are some numbers. On an annual basis, we do $25 billion US in disbursements across all our clients, with over 50 financial institutions across the globe, some of the largest banks and non-banking financial institutions as partners. We've been ranked as, for a 5-year-old company, we have been ranked against some of the oldest players in the industry as industry leaders as well in supply chain finance technology. Our clients, you can see most of the clients here are banks, some of the largest banks in the regions, and NBFCs and financial institutions as well. So what happened is, once we started solving for supply chain finance for banks, we realized that we have a network of financiers. What value can we bring to the corporates, right? How can we build or bridge this financing gap that is there in the SME sector in India? So looking at that, we first approached JSW, right? And we signed a contract with JSW1. So what we are doing for them, we have embedded our financing capabilities to their marketplace, right? And we are enabling finance across their marketplace through multiple channels. We will talk more on that. So what are we primarily solving? Channel partner attrition and supplier attrition. So in your supply chain, inbound and outbound, we help you onboard your channel partners and your suppliers completely digitized through APIs. We are also solving for complex processes involved in collecting documentations and also constant health monitoring of your channel partners. And the biggest problem that we are solving is the limited access to finance to your suppliers and your channel partners. So how are we doing it? So as a solution, we are integrated with all kind of data sources for multiple purposes: eKYC, financial data, GST, bureaus, you name it, we have it. So your process of onboarding these partners has become much simpler now. Even discovery of procurement, for your suppliers and your channel partners as well. We are also integrated with several banks and NBFCs. Imagine an alternative where you have to go to every bank, every financial institution, looking for financing for your channel partners, or even if they have to go ahead and do it. That's exactly why we have the financing gap, right? So what we are providing you is one channel, right? Bridging your connection with multiple financial institutions to enable finance at a more effective, at a more competitive cost as well, right? So this has an impact on your entire supply chain. So some of the features that enables us to do that, one, we work on a low-code environment, so there is no coding required. As a business user, you can make changes to the workflows and processes. You can design it yourself without having to write a single line of code. We are integrated with multiple APIs for third-party data sources. We have a vast network of banks. We are constantly evolving in terms of building solutions for newer industries and evolving market, right? And there are several other features that we can go into in detail, but moving on. Now, which brings me to some of the recent developments. So we have acquired a strategic stake in a company called Regime Tax, right? Regime Tax Solution. So what is Regime Tax Solution? They have a solution called Pay Invoice. What is Pay Invoice doing? Automating your account receivable and accounts payable, completely digitizing it. So your payable approvals is automated completely through an integration with your ERP and other checks through third-party data sources. We are also a GSP, right, and an IRP. So we have access to the e-invoicing portal as well for validating the authenticity of these invoices. Not only that, but also posting it in your ERP and making sure that you're compliant with your tax processes. So Pay Invoice, these are some numbers. So if you look at it, just over a year, March 2023, since March 2023 till now, we have processed around 2,468 crore worth of invoices, 572 crore worth of PO, 24,000, close to 25,000 crore worth of ASN, right? And you can see the invoices, e-invoices generated there as well, all on the platform. So we tie it together from invoices to financing, automated, and compliance is also a part of it, which is another flagship product called Tax Genie, which takes care of your GST and your tax compliance. So Pay Invoice is working with over 200 corporates as of today, which includes some of these marquee clients, as you can see on the screen. So this is the entire solution, what we have automated. Starting from partner onboarding, this could be your channel partner or your suppliers. Fully digital, fully automated through third-party data sources. Constant evaluation of your partners as well. So if there is, if there is a red flag on your supplier side or on your channel partner side, we give you a red flag right away on the system. And then we are enabling financing through multiple partners. Which brings me to my last slide. So this is how we are solving multi-lender financing. So this is a recent development. Last year, there was an RFP, a tender released by an organization called Public Sector Banking Alliance, PSBA, which is a consortium of 12 public sector banks coming together to solve for embedded finance. There were 18 technology providers that applied for the RFP. We got an exclusive mandate last year in October to build an embedded finance ecosystem, the largest one in the world. I will just take 2 more minutes to wrap it up. Thank you. So the largest embedded finance ecosystem in the world. Let me tell you what that means. On one side, there's a demand for financing, which is coming from procurement platforms, B2B marketplaces. This is where the corporates would lie. Your supply chain, your suppliers and channel partners would lie here. Any finance request that comes through, right, will pass through a central platform where the credit policies of multiple banks will be configured. So these 12 public sector banks, private banks, which you saw earlier as our clients, NBFCs, and small finance banks. So the entire lending ecosystem here in India, their credit policies will be pre-configured. So any finance request will go parallelly through these credit policies. Any bank or NBFC that is likely to finance them, we will do the matchmaking digitally. Not only the matchmaking, but also the digitization of documentation as well, and transactions also. So this is essentially what we are solving. We can do that because of the network that we have with the banks and the technology experience that we have since the last 5 years, all the learning that we have gathered by working with banks and corporates at the same time. So this is what we are doing. We would love to have a detailed discussion on it. I'm sure this has intrigued a lot of you. Our booth is right there. Please go ahead and come over. Let's have a discussion on this. Thank you so much. Sure.
Thank you very much, Sreejith, on sharing with us some very interesting ideas and initiatives that are taken up by Veefin Solutions. And I would also urge our members of the audience to please connect with you and your team during the break. That being said, if I could also please invite on stage Mr. Rahul Yadav, CEO, Access Track, to please come forward, sir. I'm going to request you to please present a token of gratitude to our speaker, Mr. Sreejith Nair. Thank you once again.